What's up guys, it's Hubs. This video is going to be another unit spotlight, and this is going to be on Kikiri and Sofia's batch. If we look on Brave Frontier Pros, this is also called the Powerpuff Girls batch, and I'm going to refer to them as this from now on. Yes, the Powerpuff Girls batch. So first off, on the left we got Kikiri. So I've got an anime Kikiri at SPB 10 with a leg wand gem. Kikiri's pretty good. One of the best units in the game when she first came out. Actually, she was the best unit. Then we got an Anima Amy, SBB 10 with the leg 1 gem. Got Anima Mina, SBB 10 with the leg 1 gem. Anima Asha, SBB 10 with the leg 1 gem. And finally, Anima Raquel, SBB 10 with the leg 1 gem. And as always, I'm going to run the newest last quest out available right now, which is in Aiden's Tower, the Speechmaker. So this is Zerg's map. And I'm going to be using Phlox's Sofia, Anima Sofia with a leg 1 gem. Yes. I do believe Anima is the best type for all of these guys. Yeah, maybe Breaker comes up next, in my opinion. And then everything else is whatever. It doesn't really matter what you have after that. So as for items, I'm going to bring in 10 cures, just in case I need them. I don't think... There's no healer in this batch, right? This is painful. So I guess I'll bring some holy lights because I don't have a healer. And then I feel like fusion pots might be helpful. Just because I don't really know. And then I'll bring 2 revive lights just in case. I don't know if this is a good item setup. I hope it's okay. So these guys are actually quite good as a team. At least Mina, Amy, Asha, and Raquel. Yeah, actually, although of those 4, they all actually have leader skills that are for rainbow teams. So I'll go through each one of them in a second. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can even beat this with this team. Anyway, so first off, we'll start with top right. We got Asha, Drake Angel Asha. So what does she give? Her leader skill is actually a BB fill on each turn. So at the end of every turn, you'll see a little spike in your BB gauges. It's not really a good BB leader skill, in my opinion. It's quite small and it's not that effective. Yeah, so she's as a leader. But what makes her really shine is actually her SBB, which is an AoE fire attack, which also grants a 45% increase to critical hit damage, which makes her with Mario Death the second best crit buffer in the game right now. I'm not sure if Orna also gives 45% or if anyone else does Ferris, but 45 seems to be one of the highest crit buffs in the game at the time. So if you need a unit that gives you crit buff and you have Asha, she is definitely a good replacement for Dual GX, who has the highest crit buff in the game right now. So yeah, definitely still a good unit, Asha. So next up, we're going to talk about, I guess, Sofia, because she's right under her. Sofia, in my opinion, what is she good for? I mean, she's got good stats. Her SPB is an AoE Paralyze, and her leader skill is a 50% increase to attack of light units, and then a small BB fill each turn. It's not as big as Asha's, which makes it like almost irrelevant. So you're mainly using Sofia for the increased damage for light units. And then yeah, Sofia just has pretty good attack. I mean, her SBB is, I believe, 15 hits Paralyze. So I mean, overall she's just a pretty strong unit overall. So if you have her, still pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really fill any super needed roles right now in the game, but she's useful, or she can be. Yeah. Next up is Twin Arms Raquel. So I personally love Raquel. I've used her for all the hard fire boss dungeons, so that includes like Vargas's Legend Vortex, Verdutu Day or something. He's one of the Sphere Frog dungeons right now, the side quests. So I've always used and I've always liked Raquel, and my Metal Parade team actually consists of 1 Dual GX leader and 4 6-star Raquels. Raquel has one of the highest hit counts in the game at 16. So I've just used her for Metal Parades. Ever since her 6-star came out, I've had a team of 4 Raquels and the Dual GX leader. Demo actually has a higher hit count than her by one, but Demo's attack animation, I believe, is a bit slower. Raquel, basically, she takes one step forward and goes boom, 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 boom. And wow, I almost wiped. I'm just gonna use some BBs here just because I don't want to wipe. Not really paying attention too much to what I'm doing. I was just kind of tapping away and talking. Oh, oops. Yeah. So Raquel, her SBB is single target, but I mean, I think it gives poison and paralyze, so it's actually really good BB or SBB, and has a really high multiplier. I think it's something like 580 or 620 or something. So basically, Raquel does a lot of damage to single targets. So in my opinion, Raquel's still a pretty decent unit. Yeah. All right. So next up, we got Amy. I don't really know what to say about Amy. I've only ever used Amy in her 5-star form against Carl, but now Carl is like such a walk in the park that I don't think people really care too much about him. Yeah. Her leader skill is 25% increase to attack and defense, which makes her a decent rainbow leader. Definitely far from the best, but still decent in some ways. Well, and her SBB is also AoE now, so she's quite okay. Gives injury as well, so I would say use Amy more for her stats and not for her leader skill or SBB. Yeah. And then we got Mina. She was one of the best leaders at some point. She is definitely a rainbow leader. Her leader skill gives you a resistance to all negative status ailments, and in her 6-star form, she also gives you 10% increase to defense and recovery. So she's quite a nice rainbow leader, especially if you need the nullify against status ailments, which is pretty big in the harder dungeons right now. So Ilmina definitely, potentially, one of the best leaders you can get right now. You just need to use her in the right situations. If you don't have units like Altree or Yolkina or Melchio or Exvel, which all give you resistance to status ailments. Oh, there's also 2 other leaders that give or those 3 others. So in terms of status resistance leaders, there's Ilmina was the first one. The next one that came out was Reese, and then the next one after that was Ronel. And then I don't know if Tilt came out before any of these guys, but there's also Tilt, but not many people have her because she's an HR21 reward from Frontier Hunter. So yeah, there's a bunch, but Ilmina she's definitely still a pretty strong one, and her SBB is just, powerful AoE, and I mean she also has a heal over time. It's a 3-turn heal, and in my opinion, 3-turn heals are not very good for difficult dungeons. They're really great for going through quests though, if you don't have really strong units and you need some sort of heal. 3-turn heals are actually really good. Like, for example, if I had to run through all of the quests in the game with just one unit, I'd probably pick someone like Phoenix or Selena, even Ilmina, because they offer a 3-turn heal as well as an AoE SBB. So you got damage and you got heal at the same time, which is something that, in my opinion, is very good for going through quests if you can't one-shot everything like most of us can with Maxwell. Once you join the Maxwell Club, this game becomes way too easy. But if you like a challenge, don't use Maxwell, and the game does become a lot more interesting. Yeah, so actually, in my opinion, I think Ilmina is probably the most useful out of this entire batch, followed by probably Asha because of the crit buff, and then Raquel because she's a strong water single target unit. Yeah, and then I'd say Kikuri and Sofia because they're just good in general, and then Amy just because Amy is like, she's good stats, but she's not that great. At least Kikuri and Sofia have paralysis and curse. Curse on Kikuri, paralysis on Sofia. Yeah, and then so finally the last unit here is Kikuri. So she was the queen of Brave Frontier for a good, I'd say 2 or 3 months before Michelle's batch came out. Kikuri team was basically OP. Actually, no, Kikuri was good until Saren came out, and then Saren became the meta. Yeah. And then when Kikuri got her 6-star, she never really came back strong. I mean, she was used a little bit, but by then I mean, Saren was already good enough, and then Michelle's batch just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, but anyway, so more about Kikuri. She's similar to Sofia. She's basically the dark version of her. So 50% attack to dark for her leader skill, and then she also gives like the tiny BB increase. It's not really that big, so don't hope that it's as good as Asha's, which is already not that great. Yeah, and then her AOE, her SBB is an AOE with potential to curse. So yeah, basically the dark version of Sofia. She's pretty good. I mean, high stats overall. So I mean, you just use her as a regular attacking unit in your party. I personally don't use her anymore just because my squads always consist of units that offer some sort of buff. So for example, instead of Kikuri, I use Elza because first of all, Elza is 30 hits and gives a 70% spark damage boost and curses. So basically better than Kikuri in every single way. So I obviously pick Elza over Kikuri. Kikuri is still a decent unit if you can summon her, and she'll get you through most regular quests. And I mean, I use Kikuri personally. I use one or two Kikiris to beat Gra. This is back when Elza was released. So I mean, she's a perfectly good unit, and yeah, if you can get your hands on her, I mean, you should still definitely max her. If you don't have anything else better, I mean, a team of like Elza and Kikuri would be great too. Yeah. So anyways, we're about to get to the boss at this point. This team is done pretty much perfectly fine. I'm running Mina as my leader because I actually don't remember if anything causes negative status ailments in this quest that I need to be worried about, because I usually run this quest with double Maxwell leaders, so I basically one-shot everything and auto-battle through it, and I've never really looked at it. Yeah, so this time I'm running Mina as my leader. If Mina, if I didn't need status resistance, I would probably run either Asha or Amy, because Amy has that 25% increase to attack and defense as your leader skill, and Asha has the increase to BB fill, which is still decent enough. I probably wouldn't run Raquel because Raquel's leader skill, oh, I didn't mention it. It's like increase to damage and HC drop when sparking or something. So like Raquel's not that useful because I don't think I'll be. It's harder to spark with this team than when you're running a team of all like 30 hit units. So anyways, yeah. So here's Zerg, and we're gonna see if I can do this. So the order I'm gonna activate SBBs is probably gonna be Asha, followed by, it doesn't really matter. Asha's my only buffer here. So yeah, I'm gonna do Asha, and then I don't think it matters. Kikuri, hopefully it curses, or maybe I get a paralyze. If not, maybe Raquel paralyzes. And then, well, I get heal with Mina, which is pretty good, and then Amy might give me some injury here. Oh wow, that's actually a lot of damage. Wow, I'm really surprised. Ooh, that was quite a bit of damage. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop Holy Light, and then, I might as well do this. Hopefully I can kill Zerg before things get too rough. Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. These guys actually do quite a bit of damage. Oh, okay, I already lost Sofia. I guess that's to be expected. She's light type. There we go, some more. And I think I'm gonna Fujin pot these three because they do the most damage. Oh, I probably should have done Asha again for that crit buff because it's probably gonna run out before I kill this guy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Oh, I guess. Okay, next turn. Next turn, definitely. And yes, my Amy did put on weakness or injury to Zerg. So, yeah, it looks like this squad is actually not that bad at all. I know with the previous squads, I highlighted the Beasts and the starters. I couldn't even beat Mare. Actually, I don't know if this team can beat Mare. I don't even know if Mare or Zerg is stronger because too much auto battle. This game's becoming too easy when you have Maxwell leads, and I just become too lazy. But yeah, so that's the Powerpuff Girls batch. One of, I don't know, the most popular batches I'd say in the game. They were huge for a very long time in Brave Frontier history if you didn't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.